Many plot predictions have already been made. They are based on the characters that are already known, on different trailers and posters, as well as several rumors. These are mostly speculations about the actual plot, using some deductive reasoning. However, when using mythology and psychoanalysis as applied to movies, we could actually go a little further. The overview of plot predictions I use here is based on summaries presented in videos by New Rockstars and HelloGreedo, who did some excellent research and reasoning. I suggest you check out their videos too. Okay, so this is some of what we already know or can deduce. The two main protagonists of the story are Rey and Finn. Rey is an independent scavenger eking out a living on a desert planet called Jakku. Finn, on the other hand, is a former stormtrooper who defected from the First Order, a successor force to the Galactic Empire. He did so probably because of moral qualms. The main antagonist is a figure called Kylo Ren, a master of the Force, who seems inspired by the late Darth Vader. We also know that Han Solo and Chewbacca will be appearing, as well as the Millennium Falcon. Princess Leia will also return as General Organa of the Resistance. Luke Skywalker and R2-D2 will also appear, as well as C-3PO, but it is unclear what their role will be. First of all, let's see what predictions we can make based on the so-called Monomyth. In short, the Monomyth is a universal common pattern found in myths and legends as described by mythology professor Joseph Campbell. It has several clearly defined stages, events and agents. George Lucas based his storyboards on the template of the Monomyth. Scriptwriter Christopher Vockler then later adapted the Monomyth for applying it to movies in general. Many movie makers have since followed suit. If this holds true for the Force Awakens, and it is very likely that it does, then we can predict the overall plot and some plot details by trying to plug in what we already know about characters and events. As an extra aid, we can draw comparisons with Star Wars 4 and New Hope, which follows the Monomyth pretty well. Stage 1. The Ordinary World. As a departure point for the first stage, we start out in an ordinary world. After the text crawl, the movie would probably jump right into the world of Rey, who is busy scavenging the remains of a great space battle. Stage 2. The Call to Adventure. Then, literally out of the blue skies, Finn, a defecting stormtrooper, would come crashing down into Rey's world. He would present her with the so-called Call to Adventure. Finn will appeal to Rey for help to serve a higher cause. This is the same as Luke inadvertently receiving Leia's message from R2-D2. Stage 3. Refusal of the call. The next stage would be Rey refusing the call. Finn will say to Rey something like, "You gotta help me, otherwise many lives will be destroyed." And Rey will initially refuse, saying she cannot afford to get involved. Then something dramatic will happen that will shake things up. Rey's world is turned upside down, and she will accept the call and team up with Finn. But they will require a so-called supernatural aid or mentor to help her and Finn out, like Obi-Wan Kenobi helped Luke. And this brings us to stage 4, supernatural aid, or meeting with the mentor. This mentor could very well be Han Solo. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi did, the mentor will give our heroes some special token. This may very well be the lightsaber that Finn wields in the trailer. Han Solo and Chewbacca may rescue Rey and Finn on board the Millennium Falcon and help them to the next stage, leading to Stage 5, Crossing the Threshold. The four leave the desert planet and take into space where the real adventure begins. The first stop may be Maskanata's pirate castle. Stage 6, Belly of the Whale. There may or may not be a stage where our heroes will be trapped inside the so-called Belly of the Whale, from which they need to escape to come further. In A New Hope, this was the trash compactor. It is hard to tell what it will be in The Force Awakens. Stage 7, The Road of Trials. Several adventures and struggles may ensue, advancing our hero's skill and knowledge. Stage 8, The Meeting with the Goddess. It is here that our heroes will meet with an exalted and powerful female character, providing further guidance. This may very well be Leia Organa. Again, I should say. There will be many more stages following this, but from here on it's getting harder to predict exactly how these will unfold. Of course, they will involve further and more intense struggles, and eventually victory and the liberation of the world from the forces of evil. The token given by the mentor, that is the lightsaber, will play an important role, but all of that is rather obvious. Now let's see what predictions we can come up with by using a psychoanalytical approach. Beginning with the so-called Freudian trio of ego, superego and id, we can see the same large-scale pattern as in the original trilogy. The First Order would be an oppressive mode of an overly dominant superego. Struggling against this force will be the resistance fighters, representing our ego in general. The animalesque and rough pirates associated with Maz Kanata look like they stand for our id. In the original trilogy, Luke represented the core of the ego, but here there's a complication in that there now seem to be two main protagonists, Finn and Rey. So it is possible that the ego here is divided and represented by these two characters, with clean-cut Finn being more oriented towards the superego, and rough-edged, down-to-earth Rey being more oriented towards the id. So Finn and Rey will be like Luke, split into two characters and each combined with one of the other main characters from the original trilogy. Finn would be like Luke combined with Princess Leia. Therefore, it would also be Finn who, like Leia, will be the most knowledgeable and idealistic. He will provide moral guidance to Rey. He will criticize and be motivated by ideals. Rey would be like Luke combined with Han Solo from A New Hope. She seems to be mostly down to earth and focused on mere survival. She will initially feign to not care about the Resistance or the First Order. However, eventually she will find the drive to do so, but her motivation will be more visceral than Finn's. This could be outrage over harm done to people she cares for. Note that the new role of Han Solo would probably be the opposite in Force Awakens. Here he will be a mentor like Obi-Wan Kenobi and be looking for help at the lowliest of places, in this case Maz Kanata's pirate castle. This is the emotional and impulsive realm of our id, where we need to go in order to find our motivations, what drives us. The pirate castle and negotiations with Maz Kanata will be like a combination of the Mos Eisley Cantina and negotiations with Han Solo at first and Jabba the Hutt later on, as well as the Gungan underwater city and the talks with Boss Nass in episode 1. That is about as far as we can get with a psychoanalytical approach. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I've got some more stuff coming up, so please stay tuned. Bye bye.